I think we did a pretty good job so far.
Oh boy, man. This has been long in the making, man. As you can see by the title of this video, man, today we're going to be going over the terrible Braindead balancing of Dead by Daylight and how the devs are just so clueless when it comes to balancing this game properly, dude. You know, the game has been out for 9 years now, and I would have thought by now, bro, the devs would have changed their minds on a couple of things and potentially gotten their heads out of their asses, man. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like they're just doubling down over and over. Because as we can all see, man, they're trying to add more anti-tunnel measures, anti-slugging measures. You know the drill by now, right? We've all seen it. So we're gonna go over this, man. And realistically, we're gonna talk about how camping, tunneling, and camping is gutted, pretty much. Like, if you really think about it, man, every strategy now that we employ when we're playing Killer, bro, is pretty much gutted to the ground. It really is if you think about it. Now, you may be thinking, oh, it's not that bad, just play Blight Nurse. And that exactly right there is the issue right there. Think about it, right? Because me personally, man, here's my qualifications. I gotta just say this right now, right? As someone who has 10K hours, bro, I have multiple win streak records with weaker killers because I like to specialize weaker killers because I think they're fun, right? This whole argument where it's like, well, bro, just play Nurse Blight, man, it's all good. That right there is like the biggest issue with this game. Anytime you have any balancing concerns about this game, bro, it's always just like, bro, just play Blight Nurse, bro, and everything's good. It's like, that's the thing. I don't want to play Blight Nurse. I think it's boring because it's like, to me, dude, I play Blight Nurse, I win every game. I'll never lose. It's true. Like, Blight to me is so fucking easy, dude, that literally if you lose it, you're doing something wrong. Like, you literally should win every single match you play Blight Nurse. The only way you can really lose, is, at least in my case, dude, the only way I can lose with those killers is if I get sniped by the sweatiest team imaginable and they have all the crutches in the book. That's literally the only way they have a chance. And that's the issue, right? But that's the thing. My problem, man, is like camping, tunneling, and slugging, and all this crap, right? It is essential sometimes for weaker killers. Now you may be thinking, but camping, tunneling, slugging is Braindead, and it's not. I wish it was, trust me. Well, I don't even wish it was. I don't mind camping, tunneling, slugging being hard, right? You still have to have skill. You still have to mind game. You still have to down people, right, to actually camp, slug, and, tunnel in the first place, you know what I mean? But this is the problem, right, is because now they have so many measures to prevent you from tunneling, from slugging, from camping, it just makes your life when you're playing weaker killers like Ghostface, Trapper / Crapper, right? Weak killers, it's so terrible playing them, dude, and you're trying to play for 12 hooks. It's impossible. You can't do it. Like, even if you go up against a mediocre team, bro, and you try 12 hooking with weaker killers, you ain't going to do it. Sorry to tell you. It's just not going to happen. Unless you, somehow play perfectly, and they make so many mistakes. But this is the thing. Okay? My thing is, I always like to talk about this game around decent players and actually, decent players as a benchmark, right? Because people always say, well, just play against bad players and it's easy. It's like, that's just the problem. And that's where the game is bounced around, right? It's like bad players. Because I'll tell you this much, I swear, if more people were good at this game, bro, the devs will realize how terribly imbalanced and bullshit their game can be, dude. Because again, right? Nowadays, bro, there's so many anti-camping perks, so many anti-tunneling perks, so many anti-slugging perks that's like, dude, think about it like this, okay? You want a tunnel? Off the record, DS, Dead Art, Babysitter, Shoulder the Burden, Styptics, Syringes, horrific maps. You gotta say more? And there's more. That's just the ones I remember off the top of my head. Think about it like this now, too. Slugging, Exponential, Unbreakable, right? We're gonna live forever. Made for this. For the people. Buckle up. There's so many anti-slugging perks, too. And then anti-camp. They have a base anti-camp mechanic, dude, where you guys remember, where they increase the hook timers from 60 seconds to 70 seconds per hook state. Terrible change, I will say. And then you have reassurance, which, people say, well, it's not really a common perk. Let me tell you right now. I have many, many experiences with the sweatiest Swifts in this game possible. Trust me. Play against them all the time. And there's always one common denominator against all of them. Every single time I play against these basement rolling Swifts is like what I always like to say, bro. The bottom of the barrel, sweatiest survivors you could possibly imagine. You always have a couple of reassurances, a couple of shoulder the burdens, decisive strikes, off the records, unbreakables, you name it. Why? Think about it like this, okay? And this is why I say, like, I've said this for a long time, playing for hooks against Swifts is a terrible idea. Because, I mean, think about it like this. Why do you think that almost every single Swift, bro, has all the crutches in the book? All the second chance crutches. Unbreakable. DS. You know, for example. Reassurance. Why? Why do you always see these perks from them? Well, I'll answer right now. Because it's the only way you get pressure is killer against them. They know that if you play for hooks against them, they will win. So that's why all their perks are usually centered around you gaining pressure. Because if you do gain pressure, I got unbreakable. We reset the game. You're tunneling, I got DS. I'm good. I'll buy myself an extra minute of time for doing literally nothing. Right? And you may say, well, bro, it's just perks. Who cares? But that's the whole point. But this is my problem too. It's a compounding issue because there's been so many new survivor perks added to compound like killer strategies that makes you play optimally, right? And then what do you think about killer? What do we have as killer? Think about it. Past couple of years, they've been gunning perks left and right, which is actually kind of funny, man. Like when you think about like gen perks for specifically, right? You guys remember when pop goes to weasel used to be 30% of gen progress? It wasn't like this. Well, actually, it was 30% of current gen progress. Before that, it was 25% base regression off the gen, right? Pain rise used to be 15% per hook. It was infinite uses, right? Overcharged was a 300% regression over the course of 30 seconds or whatever it was. Call of Brian used to be 200%. You get the idea, right? All these perks incentivize you to play for hooks. Why? Because you could actually extend the game in a meaningful way and you actually had more time to chase people, right? Nowadays, though, dude, you try playing for hooks, especially the weaker killer, it's not going to work. You don't get rewarded for it at all. Think about it. What do you get? Pain rise, 20% off a gen. Congratulations, that's literally nothing. One-time usage, which you have to rely on RNG for, by the way, right? Think about it. Pop goes a weasel, 20% of current gen progress. If a gen's at like 50%, you can kick maybe 10, 15% off the gen. And you have to kick the gen, and then the survivor runs away from it, and you lose distance. And that time you waste, or you waste the kicking the gen, and then you get the regression off, and you waste by catching up to the survivor. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a circle of fucking life. And this is the problem, bro, because it's like, the devs like are adding all these anti-camp, anti-slog, anti-everything, right? And it's like, Blight and Nurse, they don't get affected by this shit at all. If Blight wants its armor, bro, easy peasy. If Blight wants a 12 hook, easy peasy. If Blight wants a slug, easy peasy. Blight can still do everything he wants. It's no big deal. He can just chew through perks, no issue whatsoever. Same with Nurse, right? But then you say the same thing with, say, you're playing Crapper / Trapper. I like to call him Crap because of shit, right? But it's like, what can he do? If he needs to tunnel, he's fucked. If he wants a slug, good luck. If he wants a camp, again, good luck. He can't do shit, right? Because it's the biggest issue with this game, right? Is it's like the devs just fucking balance everything around survivors. We're going to make everything better. No slugging, no camping, no tunneling. When it's like, bro, like it or not, it's like it's a base part of the game, right? We need these things in the game for the sweatiest of survivors. Now, me personally, would I love if the game was centered around 12 hooks? I would love it. Because I think the game is the most fun around 12 hook game. But you know what the issue is with that? As is right now, you play for 12 hooks with weaker killers, you're cooked. You can be the best player in the game, bro. It's not going to happen. Gen speeds are so unbelievably quick nowadays, as they've kind of always been, let's be real. But because gen perks are just so fucking lame nowadays, dude, good luck. You know? And that's just kind of the crux of the issue. You know? But this is another thing I always like to talk about too, bro, is always like, how are killer perks designed versus survivor perks? Not to mention the fact that most killer perks in the game are just useless and niche, like crazy bad, right? Let's be real. Like, take a look at the killer perk list again, bro, and you start to realize, bro, almost all the killer perks are straight up ass, like straight up. They're so bad, you know? The only ones that are left that are okay-ish or just decent at best, and that's the thing. And then you compound it to the point that almost all the good killer perks in the game require you to perform, right? You need to hook survivors usually get the best perks. Like Painrise, for example, you need to be performing. Whereas survivor perks, bro, what are all the the most powerful survivor perks have in common? They reward you for playing bad. You get slugged, unbreakable. You go down, BS. You get hit, off the record. You know what I mean? Reassurance, you're being greedy, doing gens too much, and you want to buy yourself time for doing nothing, just go run up to the hook, press E, okay, you get 30 extra seconds now. You know what I mean? Like, and that's really the issue. You know, but people don't really like to talk about it because like, oh, you're just complaining, bro. But it's just a valid criticism, you know? And I really want to see this game, bro. Like, my thing is, like, right now, dude, is I wish they would nerf Blight Nurse, make this weaker killers a little bit more strong, right? make maybe the like incentivize hooking gameplay. You know what I mean? Where you're hooking individual survivors, and every time you get a hook state, you get something rewarded. You know, the game would be in such a better place because no one likes stalling camping select, but sometimes you need to do it, especially against sweaty Swifts. You know what I mean? But as it is right now, that's just kind of what it is. And the biggest thing is like all these changes that they're proposing, bro, anti-tunneling, blah blah blah. It's not going to matter. All you're doing is hurting weaker killers ultimately. Strong killers are always going to be strong, no matter what you do to the game, bro. All these changes, blind nerfs, they'll just persevere. All you're doing, dude, by nerfing and making these changes is just making people want to play blind nerfs more. That's just what it is if you think about it, right? Because people like me, dude, who likes to play weaker kills, even me, bro, I'm just getting guys sick of it. Like all the bullshit, all the endurance perks, all the anti-camp, anti-tunnel, anti-slug. It's like, I'll just play Blight. I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting kind of sick of it. It's just annoying as hell. For someone like me who likes to play variety killer, like usually weaker killers, a Ghostface, for example, I get cucked because of all the fucking bullshit you have to deal with nowadays, dude. You know? There's a lot more simple back in there. There's always DS, you know, but there wasn't as much variance as it is today. You know what I mean? There's so much crap now that can screw your game up with weaker killers. It's not even funny. But hey, man, that's about all for me, man. Like, that's all I really got to say about it, honestly. I ran for like 30, 40 more minutes, yeah, but I want to keep this video short, condensed, and see what you guys think about it, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, tell me, you guys, what you think about this video. I mean, do you guys agree with this? Do you not agree? I'd like to have a discussion. What do you guys think? Right? Put it down below. And that's going to be it for me, man. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, you know the drill. And you guys have a good one, hey? Peace out.